first thing that I try to tell them is to start off slow and don't set their goals so high, meaning set some realistic goals. So what I try to do with somebody is to help them set some realistic goals, to start off slow, and then we can build in that program. If something sounds too good to be true, guess what? It is. There really is no shortcut to good health, to good nutrition, to weight loss. And they have the research that actually shows that the people that are most successful at losing weight and keeping off, they did 3 things. They exercised 30 to 45 minutes on most days of the week. They actually kept a food journal, and they were held accountable to somebody. There is no way that you can really spot reduce. And the reason that's true is if you're trying to reduce your midsection, what you need to do is you need to lose weight. You've got body fat on your midsection, and the only way that's going to get smaller is if you reduce your body fat, which means losing weight. Now what you can do is you can strengthen that area. So if by doing abdominal exercises will help strengthen that core, and it will also help you strengthen your back. So I think it's a great idea to do those exercises, but it's not going to get you a flat abs. And I think that's important for women especially to have some strength training, even if they're trying to lose weight, because what the strength training does, it helps them build muscle. It's going to help them raise their metabolism because muscle is more active in the body than fat, so they're going to burn more calories even at rest, and it helps them to build bone density. So I think it's important to include both cardiovascular training and strength training in your workout routine. Motivation is unique for each person. Some people really like working out in a group setting, so I recommend that they find a group exercise class that they can do at a local health club, find a friend that they can exercise with. Some people would prefer to work out by themselves. For an average person, the recommended guidelines from the American Heart Association, a minimum of 150 minutes per week is what I would recommend. And that can be broken into any way that it fits their schedule. So maybe it's 3 50-minute workouts, maybe it's 5 30-minute workouts, but I would say the minimum they want to try to get 150 minutes of cardiovascular activity per week. When I say cardiovascular activity, I mean something that gets your heart rate up and keeps it elevated, such as walking, biking, the elliptical, Stairmaster, and it doesn't really matter what they do, it just matters that they do something. The first 10 minutes of a workout, what you're doing is you're burning your glycogen stores that are stored in your muscles. So your muscles have the ability to store glycogen, and you deplete that first. And once those stores get depleted, then you start to use your fat for fuel. In general, a good range to follow is somewhere between 1,400 and 1,600 calories a day. I mean, obviously it's going to depend on what size woman or man that you are, and men need a little bit more calories. But I give that range because I think going on a calorie count that's lower than 1,400 is just too hard for people to stick to. Carbs get a bad rap. There's 2 categories of carbohydrates. There's what we call complex carbohydrates, and those are things like whole grains, potatoes, brown rice, peas, lentils, legumes, vegetables. Those are all part of the complex carbohydrates. Then there's something that we call simple carbohydrates, and those are the sugars and the fruit juices. And the reason why people want to stay away from carbs, because most of our carbohydrate food are things like cookies, cakes, donuts, chips. Those are the types of foods that people tend to eat too much of, and they don't have a lot of nutritional value. I can tell you that people who go on a high protein, low carbohydrate diet lose weight initially, but almost always gain it back. In fact, according to the National Weight Registry, only 1% of people who go on a high protein, low carbohydrate diet keep their weight off for longer than 1 year. So people can't maintain that. Losing a half a pound a week has been shown the most successful for people to keep it off. And that really means that people have actually changed their eating habits and changed their lifestyle to be eating in a certain way that they can lose a half a pound a week. Any more than that, generally it's something that people have done for a short period of time. It's too extreme for them to maintain. So my advice, throw away your New Year's resolutions and commit to just a healthy lifestyle.